Round 17 of the NRL season had plenty to offer. The Warriors are fourth, the Raiders fifth, and the Eels have won five on the trot. So, what's going to happen in round 18? What is going on, my casual athletes? It's your boy Burgz back on the channel to hit you with another tipping and predictions video. This week, up on the block, we've got round 18. But as we always do, guys, let's take a look back at how I went last week. As you can see, the Queensland Maroons got that victory on Wednesday night, but it wasn't the 1-12 margin as I expected. 13 plus was the story of the day, and New South Wales Blues licking their wounds after that one. A potential rebuild coming for the Blues there, especially in the coaching department. The Warriors, they got that win. They absolutely trounced the Dragons. Not much I need to say about that. The Dragons are hopeless at the moment. The Dolphins, probably shouldn't have picked that one. Guys, just based on that first half performance, the Eels were very good in that game. Penrith 1-12, especially missing their origin stars. They will take the 2 points there, and that is a fantastic win to get with all of those guys out. The Storm as well, they were the best team on the field that night. I just think the first half that they couldn't get much going. The Broncos were disappointing against the Titans. They just did not have a solid game plan, and the Titans, well, they worked them out pretty quickly. It was give David Fifita the ball and stand the hell back. He just dominated in that game. The Rabbitohs were trounced by my North Queensland Cowboys. I tell you what, breaking a 7-game streak against the Rabbitohs is very telling for me, and can't wait to get into the Cowboys fixture this week. And the Raiders getting the win in a gritty performance out at Allianz Stadium. 1-12 on the final game of the round. Still the 6 p.m. game. Not a fun time to be watching football. Wasn't much of a crowd there on Sunday night. I think the NRL need to take a look at that. But let's head into this week, guys. And up first on the rank, we have the Sharks taking on the Dragons on Thursday night. Local derby for this one, but I don't think it's going to be much of a discussion here. I think the Sharks, they have dominated bottom 8 teams this year, and the Dragons, there's just so much going on there at the moment. We don't know what's going to happen with Ben Hunt. Dragons want to stay firm. They want to get a trade out of it. I'm hearing Tino could be a possibility for the Titans. Mo Fotuaika is also being tossed up as a trade possibility, so watch that space. But yeah, in this one, it's going to be pretty easy with the Sharks having a lot of the running, especially over the last 6 games against the Dragons, winning 6 straight. I think they will make it a 7th straight game. So it's going to be the Sharks, 13 plus. Okay, moving on from the Sutherland Shire, we have the Warriors taking on the Rabbitohs for the early game on Friday night. And I tell you what, guys, this Warriors team, they've just secured a top 4 spot, and I don't see them letting go of it very soon, especially with this Rabbitohs side going through a little bit of an injury cloud at the moment. We've got Cody Walker, who did not have a good game against the Cowboys on the weekend. He was just a little bit off kilter. It's probably due to him spending a couple of weeks off. I think Cody's one of those guys, when he's hot, needs to keep playing football in order to keep that momentum going. And the Warriors, well, they have a potential Dally M crisis on their hands. And I say crisis in probably the best way. Sean Johnson is in career best form at the moment. I am so glad I picked him up in a lot of my Supercoach drafts earlier in the season. It is absolutely phenomenal to watch. He is killing every team at the moment. And I say that with this week as well, that they're playing the Rabbitohs. I expect them to get the win again. I've never been more confident in a Warrior side in a long time. I think the Warriors get this one done, guys. 1-12. Up next is the Friday night late game where we are headed to Marvel Stadium, of all places, where the Storm will be taking on the Penrith Panthers. And I think coming off the origin period where these players are going to come back a little bit more rested. Munster was rested on the weekend. We had a host of players rested from the Penrith Panthers. I expect this game to be a fight to the death. This game is always fun to watch. And in the last 6 fixtures, it's 3 apiece, guys. 3 for Penrith, 3 for the Storm. And I can just remember games as early as 2021 where Kickow saved a try at the end of the game. And then, we had a 10-6 close fixture one of the last couple of times that these two teams played. It's always going to be a very defensive battle. Penrith's defense is still extremely hard to crack, and the Knights found that out the hard way on the weekend. Yeah, tough tip this one. I really want to lean towards the defending premiers, but I'm going to go the other way. I think the Storm at the moment, especially with guys like Nathan Cleary out, he is crucial in games like this, where it could be a bit close. The pressure's on Jack Cogger. The pressure is on Penrith to surround Jack Cogger to give him the energy and the backup to be able to take this game on. And I just don't see it coming to fruition for the Penrith Panthers. And if Munster comes back and he's firing, got to give the edge to the Storm. They're playing well at the moment. They do have a weaker forward pack, but I'm going to give it to the Storm, 1 to 12. Hey guys, just thought I'd interrupt the video for a moment to let you know that only 33% of you are subscribed to the channel at the moment. 33%. Come on, guys. If you like the content that we're putting out each and every week, make sure that you hit that subscribe button to make sure that you're notified about our latest videos. We bring out fantasy, tipping videos, skits, and predictions each and every week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now on to the video. Next up, we move to Super Saturday now, where we have the Raiders taking on the Titans, and both teams came off a win last week. Bit more surprising on the Titans side of things. I have no idea why the Raiders were such outsiders against the Roosters at Allianz Stadium. The Roosters are clearly not playing good football at the moment, and I think the Raiders deserved a little bit more respect from Sportsbet on that one. Saying that, though, in this matchup, they have had the running over the last 10 games. They've won 8 out of the last 10 against the Titans. Titans, you could argue a bit of luck came into it last week against the Broncos. Reece Walsh had a shocker of a game, and that definitely helped the Titans' chances there. I do think if he was playing a little bit better and a few things had have gone Brisbane's way, they would have won that game pretty comfortably. Saying that the Titans only won by 6 points, so I can't really read into that too much. I think the Raiders' forward pack is working extremely well at the moment. They were gassed with about 10 minutes to go in that Roosters game and just hung on and hung on. About half the team was cramping by the end of the game, and Joe Tarpany put in a massive effort as well as Corey Horsburgh. I've got to give it to the Raiders in this one. They are a little bit inconsistent. I think the Warriors took them to the cleaners a couple of weeks ago, but they turn up and they play, a grindy affair against a pretty, desperate Roosters team. And I think it'll be a similar energy for the Titans, and they will have to go to the cold weather that is July in Canberra. And I tell you what, it's not going to be fun for the boys who love the sea, the sun, and the sand. I'm going to go Raiders, 1 to 12. And now we come to the best matchup of the week. Well, the best matchup in my opinion. We have the Cowboys taking on the Tigers, and it's time for some payback, baby. The Tigers absolutely destroyed us out at Leichhardt Oval, and I felt the heartbreak firsthand because I was there, and it was a tough scene to watch, guys. I stayed right to the very end. The scenes were unbelievable, but I want to see those scenes up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium on Saturday night. I need the Cowboys to win this game. I think the Cowboys need to win this game. It's one of those fixtures where we can't take this opposition for granted, and no doubt we won't. I think Holmes is going to have to bounce back against Stafford Toa. He's got all the confidence in the world now, Stafford Toa, and Val Holmes needs to make a statement there. He copped an absolute bath from him out at Leichhardt Oval, and Val has got to step up for the team. I'm thinking, though, that this is going to be a revenge for the ages. I'm going to go Cowboys 13 plus and erase the memory that is 66 to 18 at Leichhardt Oval. Cowboys 13 plus. Let's go, baby. Up next, we are at another different ground for this matchup. While Suncorp is being looked after, we are headed to the Gabba to see the Broncos take on the Dolphins. I tell you what, the Dolphins at the moment, they've lost 4 out of their last 5, and it's not looking very good at the moment, especially the first half last week. Just abysmal. Is the word to say. They did come out win the second half, but that can only say so much when you concede 42 points in 40 minutes of football. And the Broncos, I think they were a bit shell-shocked by the Titans. This year, though, the Broncos don't seem to lose too many in a row. And the last time these two teams played, it was a very juicy matchup. It took a Kotoni Staggs try towards the end of the game to get the win for the Broncos. And I expect the Broncos to come out firing after being a little bit embarrassed last week by a bottom 8 team. Some say the Titans aren't very good at the moment. I'm going to go Broncos in this one, though, to get a win over the Dolphins. And I think it's going to be a bit uglier, 13 plus. We move on to Sunday's games now, where we have the Bulldogs taking on the Knights at Accor Stadium. And over the last 10 games, guys, it is split 5-5, baby. So I think you can't really read into the form guide, because these two teams over the last couple of weeks even have just been all over the place. You'd probably say that the Knights have the edge because they've only lost a couple of games by, one or two scores, and showed, a little bit of fight against Penrith. Saying that, though, the Penrith just didn't have really any top-level talent out on the field, so you can't really read into the Knights' performance too much. I do think their games before that were a bit better, but it's about, again, the execution. The finished product just isn't there at the moment. Kalen Ponga moving back to fullback has been a lot better, and I made a video earlier in the season saying that the Knights should at least consider moving him back to fullback, so I'm going to credit myself with that one, but yeah, I just think the Dogs really don't have anything going for them. Their forward pack is thin as paper right now. And they concede far too many points, and I just think the Knights and Kalen Ponga are going to take a lot of advantage out of that. So I'm actually going to go the Knights in this one, 1-12. Last up, final game of the round, guys, we have the Manly Sea Eagles taking on the Sydney Roosters at 4 p.m. on Sunday. And I feel bad for Manly at the moment. It was an inspired game at Amy Park on the weekend against the Storm. I think it got a little bit away from them in the second half, but Garrick was enormous. DCE is trying his guts out at the moment. Olakawatu had a very good game as well. I just don't know if the quality is there at the moment. In saying that, though, their opponents this week are just no quality whatsoever, despite having probably one of the best teams on paper in the NRL. I think if you were judging teams by who they're naming each week, and the star talent that comes with those names, the Roosters will be right up the top. But it's not translating to the field at all at the moment. Manu, again, had a pretty good game, but he's a bit wasted out at centre. But when he was playing 5'8" this year, he hasn't looked good either. I think he had one good game at fullback, but he's slowly starting to come back to that form that we saw him win the Golden Boot last year. But I think it might be happening a little bit too late, and not to, drill down on the Roosters right now, but no one's going with him out there. I think Jared Hargraves is trying really hard, and Radley is still making some really awkward mistakes, and it's putting the team under a lot of pressure. Teddy somehow doesn't understand what a kick is anymore. I think he's getting out-jumped all over the place. I think Lindsay Collins, Sebastian Chris this week, and it's really costing the Roosters at the moment. Teddy, he's got a bit of the yips, and I think it could translate to a loss again this week. But I'm going to go with the Roosters. I just think Manly have far too many outs. I know Jake Trbojevic will be coming back for this game, but whether that makes a massive difference, I don't think so. I think the Roosters are a little bit more desperate at this point in time and need to live up to the hype that saw them be named premiers by a lot of pundits earlier in the season. I'm going to go Roosters, 1-12. So that is it for this week's video, guys. Let me know what you think about my tips down in the comments section below. Please make sure that you like and subscribe to The Casual Athlete. We bring out so much content each and every week. And let us know what videos you would like to see in the future, and I'll catch you on the next one.